Today I'm sharing with you tools that supported my spiritual work in February, specifically tarot decks, oracle decks, and some books as well. Hello my love, it's Rachel here, and here we are in February, right? So in January I worked a lot with the Crone archetype. I love to work with the Crone in January, in the middle of the winter, right? And then I shared videos with you about working with the Crone and decks that I used to work with the Crone. I took a very nice course on that subject, working with the Crone, so it was a deep month for me. January was a great month for me. Long month, great month. Now February is much shorter, isn't that true? And in February I was feeling like working with the Muse archetype. The Muse archetype is, or archetype or energy, something that I've been working with for over a decade and helping other women to do the same, guiding other women on this path. It is about working with our feminine energy in a more embodied way, right? In a more like a sustainable way, in a real way, not just in theory or something that is fluffy or soft this, soft that. All that is beautiful, it's great, but it's not about that. And I shared with you a video about working with the Muse archetype, and I'm going to link here in the end of this video so you can go there and check it out. And I strongly recommend you to do that. I really do. Well, so I'm going to start this list with two decks that I already said. I always say that I'm not going to show them anymore because they will be here every month. By the way, these are the decks that I used in my personal practice. I'm not sharing decks that I used in my professional practice this month. I was just feeling like sharing my personal experience this month. Okay, they are the wild, unknown pocket archetypes in the tarot of mystical moments. So I love them. We have a review here in this channel, a super complete review with this one, both sizes, standard and pocket edition, and we have a review for the Tarot of Mystical Moments as well, my favorite tarot deck. By the way guys, let me know if you're interested in a video about my top 5 tarot decks of all time, because I like to watch those videos sometimes. I don't know if you're interested. If you are, let me know in the comments, because I will be happy to bring that video. And then I have a brand new deck here. She got here actually in December, end of December, beginning of January, I'm not sure. It is the, Tarot of Aphrodite. So this deck was on my wish list for a long time, and then I was watching one of my dear Elizabeth's videos, and she was showing a deck by the same creator. Then I decided to go to their Etsy store, and I bought this deck. Actually, I wanted this deck, but I was like, okay, am I going to use this deck to work with Aphrodite? What am I going to do with that deck exactly? And the fact is, well, and another thing, I was kind of questioning myself if I should buy this deck, because I have the Tarot of Delphi, and I never used the deck. So I was having, you know, second thoughts. Should I buy or shouldn't I? But for me, I was feeling like this deck was different. And oh my God, I'm so glad I bought this deck, because she's amazing, a beautiful reader. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I decided to add this deck to my collection, and using her primarily for now to work with the Muse archetype. And boy, it's been fantastic. I can't show you many cards because there's lots of nudity here. The nicest cards, they have nudity, unfortunately. And what I can tell you about these decks, don't let these colors, you know, like all this light pink thing here going on here, to fool you. Because this deck is not like a surface deck. It's not like a fluffy deck. No, this artwork here is powerful. This artwork has lots of history, lots of archetypes here. Archetypal energy here is strong. So this deck is a truth teller and beautiful to work with our feminine energy if you understand the artwork and how deep it is. The Tarot of Aphrodite. And then when I bought this deck, Etsy recommended me this other deck here called Unravel Your Inner Goddess by Sarah Parson. This deck was there for pre-order, and I was like, oh, it looks good, it looks good. But when I started going through the samples that you had there, the messages, I had goosebumps. So I was like, okay, yeah, I need this deck. And I pre-ordered this deck, and it got here, I think, oh my God, it was in the end of January as well, beginning of February. And they are working beautifully together. This deck here is like little messages from your soul, from your inner goddess, from your ancestors. So it is a beautiful deck and with meaningful messages. You know, I am enjoying these readings like a lot. I'm even thinking about maybe creating an offering around the Muse. Let's see what I'm going to do. The Muse, she was like my signature course back in 2016. It was called Soul Muse. And I had so many students coming for that course and so many, well, beautiful transformations through that course. So this archetype is very important for me. Now we are going to our oracle deck. So an oracle deck that I decided to give it a try with these two is this one here called the softest shade oracle. This is a deck that was on my pile of decks to be sold because I didn't really connect with her. So I decided to give it a try with these other decks. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this deck. I'm not sure yet if she's going to be rehomed. But so far it haven't added, I don't know, it's not adding that layer that I was expecting to my readings, but I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. I'll try a little bit more. And it's funny because in the end you see that I was working with a few pink decks, and it was not on purpose because of Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day, I think some people, they were using pink decks in February because of that, and I didn't even remember. I just was feeling like working with the Muse, and these two decks, they happen to be pink. And another one, a deck that I've been using a lot now, or that I used a lot in February, is the Isis Oracle. She's giving me powerful messages together with those other two decks. I mean, I don't have to talk a lot about this deck because, oops, everybody knows, I think, the Isis Oracle. And I have here one video where I'm talking about all Elena Fairchild's Goddesses decks. And I'm going to link it here in the description box as well, or here somewhere in the video. These messages, well, she's bringing a layer of powerful aligned action to the readings when I use her. And then I use this pocket edition and the standard edition as well. I just have only the pocket here to show you, but both of them. I really love this deck to give some the Isis Oracle gives us some kind of empowering messages. They are empowering, I feel the element fire very alive in these decks, the Isis Oracle, standard and pocket edition. And I've been working with her a lot as well, together with these two here. Now, February, my offerings, my sessions, they are opened, so they're available for purchase. You can subscribe. I'm going to leave the link for my sessions down below in the description box as well. And this deck here, I like to use her when I'm creating something. So I used her to write my text for my offerings. It is the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris N. It is a beautiful deck to work with tarot when you are creating your offerings. Of course, any kind of creative work, but if you work like I do, like a spiritual mentor or a spiritual guide or a teacher or a tarot reader or a priestess, therapist, this deck goes together with tarot. I feel like it gives our tarot readings, when it comes to our creation, it gives a nice layer, clarity around what wants to be created to us. So I like to understand what wants to be created and what people, souls that are connected to me now, what do they expect, what they need. That's not the focus of my creations. It's always something that is overflowing. I always share what I have, but I like to understand, and because in the end of the day, what we have to give, the souls that are connected to us, they need that. They will appreciate that. And this deck's very nice to read and understand that energy. Another deck that I don't know if I should keep talking about because she's always here is the Earth and Bone Oracle. I worked with her this month as a confirmation deck. This deck's beautiful. We have a sip of water, guys. This deck, she works as a overarching theme. She's beautiful to wrap up your readings. And she's amazing to clarify our readings, to clarify tarot as well. And I worked with her for confirmation. So in some inner path practices, so going through meditation, going through visualization, interacting with some guides, some archetypes, some energies, I would use this deck to confirm those messages, to confirm those findings, or to understand a little bit more why that face of the divine, or face of the nature, or of the divine was coming forward to work with me at that moment. So she's a confirmation deck as well. What else? What else can this deck do? Tell me. Maybe she's going to do my laundry here, because she does everything. And a deck, of course, she's always here on my table as well. I always have a Rider-Waite-Smith here. Deck here, of course. I use them always professionally, especially for tarot mentoring sessions. She's always here. She's important. But I love to work with her when it comes to... I love to work with this deck all the time. But, of course, it's something powerful about going to the roots and working with a foundational deck. And the Rider-Waite-Smith is the foundational deck for me. It's the foundational lineage. It's the lineage I work with when it comes to tarot. So I don't think I have to show you. The Universal is my favorite. It's by US Games. But what happens is, now let's talk about books. I decided to read again this book here. It is Tarot History, Symbolism and Divination by Robert M. Place, because I'm creating some classes about tarot. And I was using the history here. The color, you can see it's a little old already, but it is a great book. I think we have some meaningful content here. And I'm thinking about creating a video about some tarot books that I recommend. I'm thinking about creating that video as well. Let me know. And then this is a new book. This is a new book that came to my collection now. Okay, this year 2026, and I am here. Have been working with this book, and it is beautiful for beginners. But even if you're experienced like I am, I think we can find some fresh tips here. It's a very nice book, this one, to understand a little bit more about spreads. It's not something like life-changing, let's say, but spreads, I think it's important to understand how to create spreads. I love to create spreads, especially for my students. They find it very powerful when I create a spread for them. And I don't know, I decided to read this book because I really like Barbara Moore's work. I like her books. And a book that I'm working with. Guys, I don't go and read a book like, oh, I have to finish this book this month and it has to be... No. Sometimes I start reading, then I stop, then I come back the next month, then I stop. And I read several books at the same time. These ones are not the only ones that I'm reading or studying now. And that book that I bought and I started working with, but I'm still in the beginning. I already went through the book and marked some phrases, some things that I found that were very important. This book here is about connecting the name is Kabbalistic Teachings of the Female Prophets. Prophets, The Seven Holy Women of Ancient Israel by J. Zohara. Well, I'm not going to say this name here. I'm going to mispronounce. And this book talks about the tree of life and these women. So we understand a little bit more about the manifestation that we are going to have through the tree of lives. We understand a little bit more of that manifestation by understanding these women work or myth behind these women. So I'm just in the beginning, but it's a book with interesting insights, and it's a different book. I read so many books about Kabbalah already, but I've never read a book like this. It's the first time, and I've been enjoying it. My dear one, working with the Muse Archetype was strong for me in February, as you saw. And if you're interested to understanding more about this archetype and how you can work with this archetype, and even more than how you can work, why it is powerful to work with this archetype, please check this video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for being here.